Fantasy Premier League, tips, bargains, most selected and players to sign for Fantasy Football 2018-19. With the World Cup done and dusted, it's time to look closer to home. The 2018-19 Premier League kicks off on Friday, August 10th, a day after the transfer window slams shut, so you should probably start thinking about your fantasy football team. If you're determined to claim bragging rights, or even hard cash, from your friends and family, you'll need to identify the must-haves, bargains and potential flops. But how can you get the most bang for your buck? Well, players from newly promoted sides, rising stars and under-the-radar signings often come with modest transfer fees, so they're always worth a look. Those whose managers favor a squad rotation system, though, should probably be avoided, along with those whose teams have some tricky early fixtures to contend with. Here, with a little help from the Mirrors data unit, we've provided our top tips, bargains and players to steer clear of when selecting your lineup. Position, goalkeeper price, £4.5 million. New West Ham manager Manuel Pellegrini has been busy in the transfer market, making several savvy buys, including experienced goalkeeper Fabianski. The Big Pole, 33, has joined the Hammers in a £7 million deal from Swansea, for whom he's shown despite often having a leaky defence in front of him. Unsurprisingly, he's proving popular with players of the official Premier League fantasy football game, with 25.5% sticking him in their side. Position, defender price, £4.5 million. You can usually rely on Daniels to chip in with a few goals and assists from left back. His knockdown fee is based on the 61 goals Bournemouth shipped last season, but if Eddie Howe can add defensive reinforcements this summer, it could aid Daniels in the clean sheet stakes. Position, midfielder price, £5.5 million. Ignored by Ronald Koeman and Sam Allardyce, Lookman joined RB Leipzig on loan in January. The move was the making of him. He started 7 games for the Bundesliga side, scoring 5 goals and assisting 3. Still only 20, he looks set to get his chance under new Toffees boss Marco Silva. Moreover, he is likely to be used as a wide forward, meaning he could end up becoming your team's bonus striker. Position, midfielder price, £5.5 million. Huddersfield's best player last season, Australian Moo contributed 4 goals and 3 assists. Rarely injured or suspended, he should start most games for the Terriers. If a bigger club swoops, his point-scoring potential could be given a further boost, as he may end up with more clean sheets to his name too. Position, forward price, £7 million. Playing in an Allardyce side devoid of creative spark, Tosun somehow managed to score 5 goals in 14 appearances for Everton after joining in a £27 million January transfer from Besiktas. With attack-minded Silva now in charge at Goodison Park, the chances in front of goal should come thicker and faster for the Turkey international. Position, midfielder price, £13 million. Midfielder? Really? Salah, operating in a wide forward position, was quite simply sensational in his debut season for Liverpool. The Egyptian scored a mightily impressive 32 goals in the Premier League, earning him the Golden Boot. You can't even think about leaving him out, can you? Position, forward price, £12.5 million. A quick glance at Kane's statistics for the past 4 seasons will tell one thing: he guarantees goals. And in the world of fantasy football, goals mean points. His track record suggests he'll score anything between 21 and 30 goals. Expensive, but surely worth it. Position, forward price, £11 million. 13 appearances, 10 goals, 4 assists. Aubameyang had a very good start to life at Arsenal. The Gabon striker, signed from Borussia Dortmund for £56 million in January, took to the Premier League like a duck to water. Now fully up to speed and with a full preseason under his belt, he should be even better next time out. A genuine contender for the Golden Boot, and a full £2 million cheaper than Salah. Picking up the best players from newly promoted sides can be key in fantasy football. It's a good way of finding cheap players who will grab you bucket loads of points, giving you an advantage over your less clued-up rivals. To help you, Our data unit has worked out how many points they would have won based on the number of goals and assists they had in the championship last season. Position: midfielder. Price: £6.5 million. Still only 18. Sessegnon scored 16 goals and registered 8 assists in the championship last season. He would have earned 104 points, the most of any player coming up with a newly promoted team. Position: midfielder. Price: £6.5 million. The Portuguese scored 17 and set up another 5 for Wolves in the championship. No other midfielder coming up with a team this season found the net more last season. His goals and assists would have been worth 100 fantasy points. Position: midfielder. Price: £5.5 million. 9 goals and 12 assists would have earned Cavaleiro 81 points last season. Position: midfielder. Price: £5.5 million. The former Blackburn and QPR player, 28, scored 9 and set up 11 for the Bluebirds last season. That would have been worth 78 fantasy football points. Position: goalkeeper. Price: £5 million. You might see Sek's meager price and be tempted to stick him in your team. He is, after all, a 4-time Premier League winner, 4-time FA Cup winner and Champions League winner. There's a reason why his price is low, though. Now 36, he's past his peak and looks set to play second fiddle to the Gunners' new £22.5 million signing Bernd Leno in Unai Emery's first season in charge. Position: defender. Price: £6.5 million. Dead ball specialist Alonso has enjoyed a couple of good seasons at Chelsea, scoring 13 goals and making 5 assists in 64 appearances. Not bad for a left-back. The Spaniard, 27, also contributed to 27 clean sheets. But just how much of his success for the Blues has been down to Antonio Conte's system? If new Chelsea boss Maurizio Sarri doesn't play with wing-backs or afford him the same freedom to get forward, the goals and assists could dry up. Position: forward. Price: £10.5 million. Granted, Jesus' record in the Premier League is pretty good. The Brazilian, 21, has scored 20 goals in just 39 appearances, but he isn't guaranteed to start. Pep Guardiola tends to play with one striker, meaning both Jesus and Sergio Aguero are likely to spend time warming the bench. And if the World Cup was his audition for your team, he surely failed.